top of recently getting this, which I did a short video about, or something. I think I did a short. I got Brickmania order. So I'm going to get this open, and let's see what's inside. Okay, now with our trusty knife, we've got it open. So I'm going to see single-handedly what's in here. Oh. Wow. That's cool. That is not what I ordered, which means that they're freebies. It's pretty neat. The new mold for the whatchamacallit in, it looks like bronze and whatever that is, translucent orange something or other, and this that's really cool. And of course 2 vests in brown, which look really neat. I'm having a glare, so I'm gonna shut the door. Let's see. It's a little better. So yeah. Oh wow, I've never seen them have a box before. So I'm gonna get to the other stuff first before I open up the box. That's the manifest. I got these. I've always wanted these. That one always reminded me of Hawkeye, you know, from MASH. That one always reminded me of him because he always had the vest on and had, yeah. But honestly, I bought them for a figure that I may have made my own version of this for in a certain screenshot online way. So, may have printed it out. Not gonna admit to anything, but yeah, this is pretty cool. I've wanted this for a while, and then I thought they stopped selling all of their products that are like this, but it ends up you just have to search for it really, really hard on your on their website. So yeah, so I got that, and then like I said, I got a box full of stuff. I'm gonna see if there's anything on the bottom. No. Okay, so I'm gonna have to check after the video to make sure I got everything, because I got a lot. But I've never seen them send it in a box like this before. Ooh. Okay. So this is all I got, which is, well, allegedly I gotta check still. But looks pretty cool. I'm going to I'm gonna display this all, and yeah, I'll be back in a second. So here we go with everything I ordered. So we have 10 dark tan MCHs, and then we have 4 of the they're Molly vests. That's what they're based off of. I don't know. Let me check what they're called. Well, yeah, that's all you need to know. I think they're reconnaissance. Wait, no, lightweight combat vest, LCV, rifleman, and then that one right there is the reconnaissance one. But the interesting thing is by that you would guess this was more common system and that was less common. But from what I've seen of Molly vests, they typically leave the top couple empty, and yeah. Example, this is majorly what that's based off of, and as you can see, you can put stuff up here, but most likely you won't. So I just wanted to have a cutaway to kind of show what that looks like. So yeah, that's what I was talking about just a second previously. Back to it, we have 2 steel pot helmets in tan, 2 in the regular, I think it's OD green, and 1 in white. I ordered these 2 and that one for reasons that I will show you later, and I just wanted 2 of these because, you know, steel pots always come in handy. That's not a joke. You can use them no matter what most of the time, and it's good to have a couple. And I barely have any. I have 1 from a battle pack, and that's about it. So yeah, so those will come in handy. We got a dark tan. It's meant to be like that one, but it's a little off, or it's dark green, I can't remember. One of the tank pilot crew or striker crew or LAV crew helmets. That one's of course in green or dark tan. This one's in gray. And then here is a World War II era style you know, also tank helmet. So yeah, that's what that is. And yeah, I'm going to be painting that soon. Hopefully it will be very cool once it's painted. But yeah, also fun fact, those were originally football helmets that the military adopted because they were, you know, they could keep you from hitting your head on the top of the tank, but, you know, also they were light and, yeah, agile, or more agile than a steel pot. That's the Ghoulie hat. Kind of disappointed with this. I think it looks cool, but I'm just, I don't know, I don't like how shiny it is. Now you can see the lines. I don't know, I'll probably paint it and that will fix it. So that's not going to be a big issue. Got another one of these hats. Forget what they're called. But yeah, I already have one. I really like it. I painted it. So yeah. Comparison, this is what the real life one is really likely based off of. That or the woodland and tri-desert version of this, which I have, but I'm not going to show you because I've already showed you this one. So yeah, that's what that one right there is most likely based off of, but they have them in OD green because, yeah, so I paint them and I make them look like this, and I wish they had a tan one so I could do tri-desert in this hat, but they don't yet, so we'll have to see. Getting back to it, I have 5 of these, which is I forget what exactly it's called, but it's the Nazi paratrooper, or the Luftwaffe Air Force paratrooper helmets, which is kind of hard to see the dip down. The dip down's like right there. You see the dip down's like right there. So what it is those were used because whenever the Nazis would jump out of planes, the back of their necks would hit the back of the helmet because the helmet was too big, or it came down along the ears too much. So I think they were like, forget what the paratroopers were specifically called. But anyways, they had these specific helmets made for them, which just had, you know, sized down ear flaps so they wouldn't hit, you know, hurt their neck every time they jumped out of an airplane. I have one of these for a paratrooper I'm going to buy, and then the rest of them I'm actually going to use to make the British Brodie, which of course was used in the Gulf War and so on and so forth. And I'm just going to paint over the blue because it's cheaper or easier just to get blue, like punch in 5 blue when I needed 1 blue, and the rest I was going to paint. And also they don't have tan. I needed a tan, but they don't have it. So I'm just going to paint it with my paint that looks identical to that color. And yeah. So anyways, moving on. There's an RPK, if I'm correct. It's the it's like before they had a machine gun version of the, you know, AK, if I understand this correctly, from you know, what's that movie, Red Dawn. They had that. Yeah, blah blah blah, you get the point. So heavy machine gun RPK, or whatever you want to call it. I'm not a fucking expert exactly. I'm just mediocre at this stuff. I just know just enough. AK Rami, if I correct, that's what they call it on the list, or something like that. So geez, I just looked at the list. Everything starts with brick arms, almost all of it, which is ridiculous. It's just funny. Anyways, that's the I think Boba Fett rifle, or whatever. I was gonna cut it off and turn it into a hunting revolver, like from New Vegas, and then I coincidentally found the one that I already done that to, and I'm like, well, shoot, I already ordered it, so yeah. So it's still a pretty cool gun. It's just I don't know what I'll do with it, but still, it's a cool gun, nice one to have in the collection. 1911, which I bought another because I love my 1911s and I need some more. I think that's a rocket launcher, but I thought I had seen a similar one in riots where they deploy gas with it, so I don't know. I'm going to use it as a gas deployer, a tear gas deployer. So yeah. Anyways, you know, that's just the sniper variant of the Heavy Republic Blaster, or whatever the heck it is. There's some official designation for it in Star Wars, I know there is, but I'm just going to call it the Heavy Republic Blaster because Battlefront 2. We have 4 of the British assault rifles. I forget what they're called, some fancy name, because, you know, everything has to have a fancy designation, but yeah. 2 TACs. I believe that's what Brick Arms calls them, TACs. something like that. Yeah, I just looked it up. It's tack. One in gunmetal, one in black. And I got one of these. I already have a couple of these, so I don't know. Oh, I do remember why I got it. What I'm going to do, I love these. These are like my favorite of the new brick arms. The M16A2. Pretty nice. So, the Marines have M16A4s. But in The Walking Dead and other stuff, I've seen M16A2s with M4 receivers, the top part of the gun, so that they could put this scope, the ACOG or previous scopes prior to the ACOG, on this gun, instead of having to buy a whole new M4. It's uncommon, but hey, it happened in the early 2000s military to some extent. There are records and pictures and all sorts of shit showing that. So it may have not happened commonly, but it did happen on occasion. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take off the carry handle of the M16, and I'm going to take this off. This is going to have to be more careful than that. So I'm going to take those off, and I'm going to swap them. Well, I'm going to put a different scope on this one, but like, you know, yeah. And then this one, you know, I'm going to be honest, Brick Tactical kind of beat them to the punch. So now I wanted to see how the Brick Arms one compares. So I'm going to compare it. Not right now, but, you know, eventually, because it looks cool. They both look cool, but I think I kind of like, I don't know, I thought I liked the Brick Tactical one better, but this one looks pretty cool too, so we'll have to see. And then getting to the very end, we have the M16A2 with a scope on the top. And that does not look like an ACOG to me. I don't know what type of scope it is exactly, but still pretty cool. So yeah, this has been pretty much the unboxing. And I think I got a discount. I'm trying to remember what the code was. I don't remember what the code was. But I watched a YouTube video, and they were at some festival where they were showing off mocks, and it says, go to Brickmania and type in blah, blah, blah for a code. So I did that. I got some money off, and it was over 50 bucks. So I got free shipping, which was really nice. So yeah, very happy with this. I was surprised. I forgot that they gave out freebies. Did not expect that. Still pretty cool, you know? Very cool. So I wish it was as cool as my room right now, because it's summer and apparently the air conditioning isn't working the best. But still, pretty cool haul. And now I'm going to move on to show you kind of one of the things that I'm going to do with this. So right here we have an MP, which that's who I bought the 1911 for. And I'll admit it turned out pretty nice, but this is a biker helmet. You can't do, I'm doing finger, you know, Lego biker helmet. I'm doing finger quotations. Because Lego doesn't make the Still Pot helmet because they don't make war things. So yeah, I'm probably going to take that white paint off because it's just a black helmet. This is going to be one of my British soldiers, because I told you I was making British soldiers. This is going to be one. And I'm going to have 1 desert and 3 regular, like woodland. So yeah, here's my attempts at a, you know, Marine. I tried to do the emblem on his helmet. Yeah, it didn't turn out very well, but you can kind of, if you know the anchor symbol with the grenade, or I forget what it is. I think it's a grenade and an anchor. You can kind of see what I was trying to do with that. Didn't work out, but hey, whatever. And him, yeah, Marine, yep. So I'm going to try to fix these guys. So yeah, so that's some of my plans. And yeah, I got some more of these guys made up. You know, typical U.S. soldiers from 2012 with the interceptor vests and backpacks and everything else. And I have 3 more on the way, hopefully. So yeah, and stop motion is running way behind, but we'll see how that goes. So yep, and yeah, I think that about covers everything. Anyways, this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and I am so happy to have gotten all of this stuff, and those I'm excited for, really excited for. But anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you're having a good day. And if you want, like and subscribe. Not that I don't care, but like, it's up to you. I'm not going to force you to. I'm not going to try to convince you. I know there's a lot of people out there that will. It's up to you, buddy. I want you to know that. So, anyways, have a good day. I hope you enjoyed this review, or, unboxing. I know as a kid, I always enjoyed unboxings. It was like, what surprise are we going to see today that's different? And I'm glad that I looked, because I did not know I could get the Rifleman vest, or the Molly vests, in tan until recently. So yeah, and those goodies that they gave me, super kind of them. I still miss my GI bricks, though. If you're old enough to remember GI bricks, shout out in the comments to GI bricks. Yep, I miss those guys. Anyways, have a good day, and yeah.